Seb, you must have eaten a lot of humble pie since the final whistle. Ever since I've known you, you've been calling for Osorio's head, yet he masterminds that victory against Germany.
Ooh, well done, Dan Thomas. Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
That is
well
an
played.
interesting
well played.
spin that you put on it, Dan. Look, I, like a lot of Mexican fans, have been very pessimistic. I think there's been very little in the build-up to give you a lot of confidence. I, however, always held out hope, and I think I might have even said this on this show. Juan Carlos Osorio is a mad scientist. And today, his formula worked. And it didn't just work, Herc. It wasn't just the result. Because in soccer, anything can happen. You know, you could have a 1-0 fine. I don't know they dominated Germany, but it was close. They were at least close to the better
team. It looked
team.
pretty dominant to me because of who Germany is, because of who Germany has. That midfield for Mexico, those two players between Andrés Guardado and HH Héctor Herrera dominated Sami Khedira and Toni Kroos. I haven't seen this German team play and be that underwhelming like that in quite some time. And it was because of what the Mexican national team did. They didn't just wait for them. They didn't sit back. They didn't just try to counter. They took it to them. They possessed. They were dangerous down the flanks. And in open space, I mean, I thought they could have put another 3 in on Germany.
Dan, my biggest complaint with Osorio has been the inconsistencies. And despite the win today, I think there's still a seed of doubt out there. Well, you with all the Juegos Moleros, the friendlies, look, he's 1-0 in a World Cup. That's not the point. This team is inconsistent. If they do it again against Sweden and South Korea, I'll believe it. But I don't know that you can just say, oh, they're going to win the group now. I think there's a lot of work to be done.
You're a hard man to please, Sebi. Surely on this platform, they've got the momentum. There's no reason why they can't win this group.
Well, there's plenty of reason. It's okay because we've seen Germany versus in their last 5 games against their opponents. They give their opponent the ball at times. And when you give the opponent the ball like Mexico, a team like Mexico, they have players that can hurt you. Sweden won't give you the ball. They're going to close down those spaces. They're going to make it tight, compact. They're going to make it a very dirty game. That's the type of team that complicates things for this Mexican national team.
And you know what? Everybody in this World Cup said, oh, here goes Mexico. They're going to be second in this group at best, and they're going to have in the cross, they're going to have to play Brazil. Now they're on top of the group, and what happens to Brazil? Brazil ties Switzerland. So if Mexico wins the group, they may still end up facing Brazil in a round of 16. I'm just being an honest, pessimistic.
He's being a Mexican national team fan.
What's happened to you in Russia, you two? You've just beaten the defending champions. No one gave you a chance, and you two are sat there miserable.
Wait a second.
Sweden, what's wrong?
No. I'm over the moon. It's the best I've ever seen the Mexican national team play, and certainly against a rival of this quality. No doubt about it. I mean, it's the best performance. But the inconsistencies are there with this team. We don't know if it's going to be the same 11 moving forward. We can't know that this team is going to perform the way that they did today. I think the point Herc brings up is an excellent one. They're certainly not going to face rivals in their next 2 games. They're going to treat them like Germany did.
What are your player ratings?
This is a good one. This is a great one.
I don't know. You guys have them in front of you. I wanted to give everybody a 10 and Juan Carlos Osorio a 20. Juan Carlos Osorio a 20. I think my top individual player was Héctor Herrera with the 9. This is a guy who has been at Porto for a while.
Wait a second. Everybody has a 10, but Héctor Herrera has a 9?
I couldn't really give everybody a 10. So I did some real ratings.
Okay.
But I gave HH a 9. This is a guy who's at Porto. I can't imagine. I think there were already some moves in place beforehand. I think he will move, and now I think the sticker price, Herc, is going to go up on this guy. He is a very, very good player, and you saw it today as he dominated a midfield loaded with guys that play on much bigger clubs than Porto.
Let's bring it into the studio, shall we, for a moment? That's 7 Herc, by the way, Matt. Mexico were excellent today, yeah?
Yeah. How does Seb figure that? Although they're 1-0, or Osario's 1-0, that's not the point.
Consistency, Steve.
Yeah, the point is to win, I thought, right?
Thank you.
It's about winning. And how does Gallardo get 6? The Mexicans defended with their lives at times. They got bodies in the way. They stopped crosses. They did everything right.
6.
They never lost any goals. They actually, I don't think they gave up one real clear chance in the game. So how does Gallardo get 6?
Sebastian.
Well, they gave up a couple of chances.
Half chances.
Look, it's Gallardo, Stevie. It's Gallardo. Look, he was...
No, in Scotland he's called
I mean,
Gallardo,
I have to give these ratings. I told...
I thought he said Guardado.
Look, I think there was a few moments in the. I'm nitpicking, man. I'm not the player ratings guy. I want to give everybody a 10. Gallardo on that back line was the weakest. A few bad mistakes trying to dribble out of the back at inopportune times.
Gave
a couple
Kimmich plenty of
turnovers.
space in the first half.
Yeah, look, I mean, of all the guys on the back line, I'm not going to give everybody an 8 or a 9. I think Gallardo was the weakest, but he wasn't weak. He wasn't weak.
It was the weakest, but it wasn't weak. How did you figure that one out? No.
Did Mexico surprise you, Mac?
No, I'm with Seb. Yeah, he was the weakest link of the team in this one for sure. That first half, that right-hand side with Kimmich flying down, he gave him a lot of space and he created a lot of havoc to start out with. So I'm with you on this one, Sebastian.
Can we talk? Maka, what did you make of Mexico?
I thought
they surprised you.
No, they didn't surprise me. I think in the first game of a World Cup, you expect it to be, quite close. To be honest, I don't really expect many teams. Or when I looked at this game, I didn't think Germany would, overpower Mexico. Not in the slightest. I mean, I didn't expect the result. I expected Germany to score. But I was thrilled. I know Juan Carlos Osorio very well, and I'm not.
He's not a mad scientist.
I'm not a huge. I haven't got a huge knowledge of Mexican football like the boys have. Well. But personally, I'm thrilled for him. To see him celebrating on the pitch after the game, and to see the Mexican players celebrate after it shows what a huge occasion this is. And that's for me. That's what the World Cup's about.
They played great at counter-attacking football. Every time Germany went forward, and they talked about Kimmich going forward, both fullbacks were high up the field, Hummels can't run, and they used the space down the side of the centre-halves time and time again. And they were right. The midfield players dominated Kroos and Khedira, who lack athleticism as well. Ozil didn't want to chase back, and they worked harder. They were more athletic, Mexico, and they deserved their victory.
OK, here we go, the lottery that is. What are your final thoughts of the day then, boys?
Well, I think we have to give Juan Carlos Osorio a lot of credit. I know it's going to cost Sebastian a lot to do it, but we have to be honest. Oribe Peralta, Rafa Marquez, Hector Moreno, Layun, all these players have come out and said if there's one person who deserves this more than anybody else, it's Juan Carlos Osorio.
I would just like to acknowledge the effort from Chicharito up front. He plays a huge part in the goal with Chucky Lozano, and I know there wasn't a lot of pretty play from Chicharito, but he was asked to hold the ball up, get the guys on the wings involved. He did it. He's involved in the goal. I think you can't ask more from a guy who, for all that he's done at the club level, somehow still wasn't a lockdown starter for this Mexican national team. Juan Carlos Osorio made the right call there, and it paid off.